I'm Kylie from Wildflower House Creative Design, and I'm here today in the WebWave studio to give you a few tips on using the awesome WebWave website building platform. It's a simple drag and drop platform, so it's so easy to use. So we're starting off on my dashboard here. We're going to create a new website. You can choose from lots of templates, but we're going to start with a blank page. The blank page build will already have in there some elements like the home page, contact, gallery and contact us. We're going to leave them in there for the moment. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your color palette, text styles, and then we're going to build a simple header and footer. We're just waiting for the resources to load, and here we go. So first off, we're going to set up our color palette. So we're going to click over here onto our settings panel and choose website and go into global colors. I'm just going to move my layers panel out of the road. So these will set your brand colors for your website. I've got a spreadsheet on the side here with my hex codes all saved in. So I'm just going to copy those, click on the box, paste my hex code in there. So now that we've set our colors up, we're going to go and set some text styles up. We'll start with normal, and this is what you use for your main body. I'm going to make that to Homer and 20. I'm going to change the text color. WebWave's decided it wanted to use one of my branding colors, but I wanted to change that, so I'm going to make it the gray color. With my header 1, I'm going to use Palantino and make it a bit bigger, but I'll leave it with that color and I'll update that. The next one I'm going to change is the link, and I'm going to leave it at Tahoma 20 pics and update that, and I'll do the link hover, and I'll just take out the underline and leave it as WebWave has set it there. So that's so easy. You can set up your global text styles there. Now we're going to build a simple footer, which is built in the shared elements section so that it shows up on every page. So up here at the top menu, we're going to go into our shared elements. We're going to click on the footer to make sure that we're in there, and we're actually going to add a logo. So across in your, wherever you set your layers panel up, you can move these panels around. I usually have mine sitting over here. So again, click on your footer, choose the picture element picker. I'm going to add my image in to my library. So all you need to do is grab your image from your folder, drop it into my images and files. Because this is in, I've got a white image in behind there, I'm going to actually set a background. So over here in your settings panel, I'm going to click background settings and choose background color. WebWave likes to put random colors up there just to brighten your day. So we're going to change that to one of our own branding colors. Next, I'm going to grab the logo, and you can also resize it just by grabbing the edge of it and resizing to what you want. Now we're going to name this because we want to be able to keep track of what we've got going on in our layers panel. So I'm going to call that the logo footer, just so that I can keep a tab on what's going on over there. With your footer settings, it's always good to come over to your settings panel, and I'm going to actually make this distance that from the elements, once we build our pages and things, that it will sit 50 pixels away from the elements to give it that spacing it needs. Next, I'm going to add a bit of a margin into the footer. So I'm going to click down here into margin. If you want, you can use the center numbers there, or to change all of the numbers at once. So if I put a 20 in there, it changes the margins 20 all the way around. Or I can just choose the top and bottom margin to change 20 that way. So I'll just recenter this. Okay, so now we're going to add some text to our footer, and I'm going to create a global text style to be able to do that. So we just go over here to our settings panel, add text style. I'm going to call it footer text just to be really inventive, and create style. I'm actually going to make it white and leave it at 20 points to Homer. And I'm going to click update. Now I'm going to grab my text element and I'm going to choose it from the styles of text, and there we go, it comes up white. So if we triple click on this, we can select all the text and type in what we want to do, if you can type well. Here's a little tricky handy hint. If you want to put the copyright symbol in, you just click Alt 0169 numbers and there's your copyright symbol. So I'm just going to now resize this text box and bring it back down to center it when the green line comes up, and it's now also centered with my logo. And there we have it for the footer. Okay, so now we're going to create a simple header for our website. Again, we're going to stay in the shared elements so that it shows up on every page. First off, I'm going to create a simple background. Here we go with another fabulous color from WebWave that we're going to change. I'm going to make it a nice pink this time. And I want this to go right across my screen, so I'm going to set it to 100% width and reposition it to sit right at the top. Now, to change your height, you can either grab the element and drag it down to where you want it, or you can go over here into your settings panel and manually enter the height that you'd like it to be. Next, I'm going to add my logo back in, and we'll go back into our images and files, select the logo, and I'm going to drag that up to the top there, sit it within my guide, and just make it a teeny bit smaller like that. Okay, so before we go any further, we've got to remember that we need to rename or label our elements so that we don't get too lost. So I'm going to call my logo in the header, and with the background rectangle, I'm just going to rename it rectangle background, BG. Now we're going to add our menu in, so we'll come across here to the layers panel and drag the menu element across. This brings you up with the edit menu system. I've already added a new button on here called shop. If you want to add another button on, we could call this specials. This will actually add a new page and a new button at the same time. So when you're doing menus, whatever's at the top will be on the left-hand side of the menu. So I don't want specials to be first. I'm going to drag it down underneath shop. If I wanted to make specials a sub-menu, I'm going to just pull it across to the right-hand side a little bit so that it's indented underneath shop. And I'll just show you how that works up here in the menu. So as you can see, when you hover over shop, the secondary sub-menu will come up of specials. Now we're going to style our menu a little bit. Basically, I can see at the moment our text styles have come in as the same as our background color, which isn't going to work because it will disappear as soon as we move it up. So what we want to do is click on we want to double click on the menu to select a single button, and we want to clear all the text formatting styles by clicking the TX button. So this will bring us back to our normal font style of the grey colour. We'll click off there, and when we're in the hover state, you'll notice that a border will come up. So again, I'm not really keen on that one. I'm going to double click into a single button, and I'm going to go down into hover and go down into the style in the settings panel, and I'm going to turn that border off. So now when we look at our menu, we've got our normal text coming up. When we hover over something, it will change to the green. Our submenu will come down. But I want to show that there's an active button. So I'm just going to triple click into the home button, which is our active button. Click up here in our settings panel and choose active. And I'm actually going to make that green as well. So now we can see that we've still got our hover styles. I'm just going to go into the preview panel. So this is previewing it without publication. So we're just having a look at what it looks like. And here you can see I've clicked on home, so it's active, it's green. I'm hovering, so they're green, and I've got my drop down menu, which is my sub menu. Okay, so now we're just going to make sure that we label everything properly. I'm actually going to call this the desktop menu to make it meaningful. Click off that. Because it's sitting at the top, but it's actually going to end up on the right hand side of the page, I'm going to put it below the logo. So I'm just going to grab it, pull it across into position where I'd like it, and set it down. Now let's have a quick look at that in our preview. Switch over here. And there we go. We've got our hover state, green buttons coming up, our sub menu coming up. It's looking good. We're going to go back to the editor and click finish. So there you have it for a quick and easy way to do a footer, a header of your web pages, some styling of your text, formatting, and your global color system. Thanks for joining us today. See you later.